Here is a question that you might come across in an exam or during your homework. It says calculate the wavelength of electromagnetic radiation absorbed in an electronic transition from n equals 2 to n equals 5, where n1 equals 5 and n2 equals 2. This is a relatively straightforward question. Our first step is to identify what is being asked for. In this case, it's lambda. We then identify other information in the question that will help us to solve it. We have n1 and n2. n1 equals 5, n2 equals 2. We next identify an equation that relates lambda, n1 and n2. In this case, we have the Rydberg equation. 1 over lambda equals RH, the Rydberg constant, times 1 over n1 squared minus 1 over n2 squared. The only other thing we need to find now is RH, which is a constant and is found in your text or your data sheet on an exam. RH equals 1.097 times 10 to the minus 2 per nanometer, or nanometers to the minus 1. So we have 1 over lambda is equal to 1.097 times 10 to the minus 2 per nanometer, and we'll keep the units in this question to make it easier. 1 over 5 squared, which is 1 over 25, minus 1 over 2 squared, which is 1 over 4. Evaluating the equation in parenthesis, we get 1 over lambda is equal to 1.097 times 10 to the minus 2 per nanometer times negative 0.21. Let's not worry about the negative just yet. Going further, we get this. Multiplying by lambda on both sides, we get lambda over lambda is equal to negative 0.00230 per nanometer times lambda. And so to solve, we do this. Take the reciprocal, and so we get our final answer of lambda is equal to negative 434 nanometers. Now, don't be alarmed by the fact that it's negative. Remember that in this case, this question, we were going from a lower level to a higher level, from n equals 2 to n equals 5. Thus, it requires energy to do so. And so it appears that we end up with a negative wavelength. This isn't true in this case. We still have a positive wavelength, even though the answer turns out to be negative. Don't be alarmed, 434 nanometers is the answer. Not negative 434, but positive 434. You can go ahead and make the change.